Hey YouTube, Ultra Maximus here with another Transformers review. This time we're going to take a look at Cliffjumper from Transformers Prime. So this series, we're in season 2 of the series, but the figures are just now making their way into the heart of the Midwest here in Indiana. The Legion figures of the Legends class, the little small ones, they've been around for a while now. I think they started popping up around Christmas time. But the actual figures, the deluxe figures and the Voyager type figures, those have only been here probably for a month, maybe 2 months at the longest. And we're only seeing wave 1 just now. So, thusly, I'm just now getting a chance to look at these figures and review them. Well, Cliffjumper, we have not seen a Cliffjumper in a while in the series or figures. We've got Cliffjumper in G1. We have brief appearance of Cliffjumper in Transformers Animated. And then, of course, now we have him in Transformers Prime, but once again, only in a brief appearance. Unfortunate. I'd like to see Cliffjumper with a more stable character appearance, but it is what it is. We get what we get. And what's nice about this figure, I like, is it's a totally new mold. It's a totally new character, redesign, which is very cool. It's got certain homage to the old one, but they've totally redesigned it. This is kind of like in Transformers Animated, Prowl was a great example. Completely different character type. He's still kind of rigid. He's still kind of, very formal, not a very super friendly type of character, and he's still a police vehicle, but he's totally different. He's a cyber ninja, he's a motorcycles, different paint scheme, all that kind of stuff. Cliffjumper in Transformers Prime is the same way. He's not a mini-bot, he's a full-size robot, he's kind of bulky, he's a badass, and he's voiced by The Rock, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, he bites off more than he can chew, gets captured by the Decepticons, and scrapped by Starscream. Episode 1. Well, the figure, very dramatically different. It's a muscle car, and it's got the staghorn mounts on the front that kind of turn into his little devil's points on his helmet, which is a nice homage to the original Cliffjumper, but I love how it's a different mold. He's still red, of course, but it's a totally different mold, which is nice because usually we just get a repainted Bumblebee as Cliffjumper in the toy lines, which sucks. I hate that. Cliffjumper and Bumblebee are not the same vehicles. Totally different. When you look at the original G1 molds, they're different. They're very, very different. And we just keep getting a repaint of a Bumblebee figure with Cliffjumper. And, that's kind of annoying. The only one here lately that I've seen that was halfway decent was the War for Cybertron one, and that looked okay, but it still looked like a red Bumblebee. Cliffjumper's always been more of a boisterous, run out and get 'em, ready to fight kind of robot, where Bumblebee's different. He's the scout. He's willing to do anything, but he's not going in head first like Cliffjumper would have in the G1 series. And we only get another glimpse of him in Transformers Prime. Transformers Animated on Cybertron. We see him like a couple times. We never see his alternate mode in Transformers Animated. And the figure that they put out was a repaint of Bumblebee, but I can't remember if they redid the head or not. Because he had a very different head in Transformers Animated than Bumblebee did. And I can't remember if they redid the head on the toy or not. So if you know, let me know. I didn't pick that figure up. So, totally new Cliffjumper. Let's take a look at him. Let's see what he looks like in robot and in vehicle mode. And let's take a look at that packaging. Alright, so here we have Cliffjumper in package. This is what he looks like. So, decent looking package. This is the Transformers Prime setup. We got Transformers Prime, obviously, the character, Autobots. They've redesignated the toy line Robots in Disguise. And when we look at it, we see there's some Cybertron markings around robots in disguise. And of course we get our hub logo. There's Cliffjumper there. Close up look in there. All that kind of stuff. He is a level 2 Transformer. Deluxe figure. And if we flip over here on the side of the figure itself, we have package, and then we have his technical data, which strength of an 8, intelligence of a 5, speed of 6, endurance of 6, rank of 4, courage of 8, fire blast of 7, and skill of a 5. And man, I don't know. I would say his rank seems a little bit low, and I would say probably that his endurance is a bit low because, I mean, he lasts for quite a while in that battle on the show. So I don't know about those stats. Other side, it just says Cliffjumper right here, and we see the front of the vehicle. Underneath, we've got other Transformers available. Bumblebee, Wheeljack, and Soundwave. And then here's the back side of our box. The back side. That's what he looks like. And then here, of course, is Deluxe Class. Now this is nice. This is different. It says Series 1, number 002. So he's the second figure of Series 1. I kind of like that, kind of a trading card type thing. And then Cliffjumper, Autobot. It says few Autobots are as fierce as Cliffjumper. The Decepticons long ago learned to fear the loudmouth warrior for incredible skill with which he wields his battle hammer, which I don't think he had that in the cartoon. So this is a gimmick weapon. It comes with it. You can put it on the top to turn it, I guess, into a gun. And of course we have the lineup of the characters, and then look for more of your favorite characters on the show. So there he is. Cliffjumper in package. Let's take a look at the vehicle mode, and let's take a look at that robot mode. Alright, so here we have Cliffjumper in vehicle mode out of the package. And looks pretty good. I like it. Little muscle car. Rolls pretty decent. Details on it are very nice. I like these little horns up here at the top. It looks very cool. He's got a painted grille and painted headlights, which is fantastic. Only thing underneath, there are some, it's hard to see in this video, but there are some fog lamps, and it would have been nice if they would have dotted those with a little bit of paint. On the side here, real nice. We got the door handle on here. We've got the turn signal. That'd have been nice to have a little bit of paint on it as well. I do like the tailpipes, the drag pipes coming up. They are painted, which is very cool. The details on the wheels are fantastic. Now, this little piece here is obviously meant for a gun, to put a gun piece in, it looks like, but it works very well for a gas cap look, which is very cool. I liked that. The back of the vehicle, we've got painted tail lights, which is unusual, and a painted bumper. Nice to see a little detail back there. Unfortunately, we don't get a license plate painting. Always find a fault in a paint job, can't we? Isn't that easy to find? Other than that, looks really nice. I mean, the vehicle itself just looks very cool. This hole up here, I don't really care much for. It's to mount the gun. Unfortunately, they've got that on there. It's like a big thing right now is these weapon mount things. This is what he looks like with that mounted in there. Looks like shit. I don't like that. I will never do that. Like I said, I'm presuming that this can also fit here, like so. Again, I don't like that. It looks like utter shit. So that will not be going on in vehicle mode at all with me. So, very cool. Nice big tires versus small tires up front. Really digging it. We see a little bit of kibble underneath in vehicle mode, but I suppose we can forgive that. All in all, very nice looking vehicle mode. Very different mode from what we've seen in the past from Cliffjumper. I'm definitely digging that. All right, so here we have Cliffjumper in robot mode, and he's pretty decent. It's a very interesting transform. The back piece back here that's very interesting how it folds all up together. They kind of try to hide as much back kibble as possible, which is nice. The figure itself looks pretty decent. He's very stout looking, very bull looking. There's a close-up of him. His head, everything looks pretty decent. Looking point on it, it looks really, really nice. Some things I don't particularly care for. On the sides here, you'll notice his arms are very, very hollow. I'm not too big a fan of that. But all in all, from the front end, the figure looks very nice. The head, I don't know if it's just because I've seen so many pictures of the Terracon version of him. He looks like he's got that Terracon snarl. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to go for an attacking look or something. Very long arms, articulation in the elbows here and the shoulders. The arms move kind of oddly because of the way they're designed. Those joints are designed. Legs look fantastic. Absolutely love them. The bottom half, all in all, looks really decent there. If we put his club in, that's what he looks like with these little mace club thing. But I suppose it can also be, since it was a gun. Oh my gosh, look, his hand came off. Since it was a gun in the vehicle mode, then I'm guessing that we can make it a gun in robot mode, which we can. So it actually looks better, I think, as a gun than it does as a club. Not too fond of the club deal. And what would have been nice, see how it's almost got like the handle piece here, if they could have made it so that he could have used both hands to kind of use it like a mini gun or something. But I guess it is what it is kind of deal. So pretty good, nice and stable, thick looking figure, definitely decent. Looks a lot better than some figures we've seen in the past. Some minor gripes about how hollow the arms are. I do like, however, though, like the windshields or the side windows fold inward. That was nice. They've got this kind of built-in thing with the head where his head just kind of pops out when you do the shoulders, so that's kind of nice, kind of cool looking. I was really surprised to see this little horn piece actually fold down on his back. That was a surprise. I didn't think that was actually going to happen. But all in all, decent figure. Glad I bought it. He'll look good in the case, sitting next to some of the other figures. And he actually might not make a bad repaint for a side swipe. I wouldn't mind seeing a different head sculpt on this figure for a side swipe figure. That'd be pretty damn cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Keep an eye out for more videos in the future, and have a great weekend.